It's Monday! Alright, we have a new book for today. It is called Jackalope, and it's by the same authors that wrote The Great Fuzz Frenzy, so you know it's good. And I chose this book because it's a fiction story that has a lot of different elements from a lot of other fairy tales. Like you'll see the mirror from Snow White, okay? You're going to see a lot of different things in there, and I thought maybe it would help you or help give you some ideas for writing for your own Write Stuff piece, okay? So if you're writing a story, or maybe if you're trying to think of some ideas for a story, this might be something that helps you. So you're going to see a lot of elements. There's going to be a narrator throughout the whole thing. You'll see characters with problem solutions. It's just a good book. All right, let's get into it. Here's our narrator, the trusty armadillo. He says, "Ever seen a jackalope? Probably not, because they're gone. Extinct. Like dinosaurs and go-go boots. If you don't know what go-go boots are, ask your parents or your grandmas. Ever wonder what happened to them? I know, because two silly sisters told me. They said it was the absolute truth. So put on your listening ears, zip your lips, and get ready for Jackalope." This is the narrator talking. "Gather round, come sit on the ground, and I'll tell you the tale of a hare. All of it's true, and it's best I recall, except for some parts here and there. The branches are full on the Jack family tree, with jackrabbits famous and not. There's Jack in the beanstalk and Jack in the box. Folks talk about those two a lot. But one branch is empty, and all that's left is a sign that hangs down by our rope. A sign with the name of the Jack who is gone. All it says is one word: Jackalope. Once upon a time, in the land of cactus and cattle, there lived a very unhappy jackrabbit. I hate being ordinary. Nobody notices me. Nobody runs away from me. Nobody is afraid of me. I can be fierce too, can't I? I'll ask Mirror." So here's Mirror, I think. "I'll ask Mirror. He always tells the truth. Hey, Mirror, look at this." Jackrabbit froze in his scariest pose. "Mirror, mirror, cracked and small, who's the fiercest one of all?" He waited for a reply. "At the risk of being rude, I think Longhorn's one mean dude." "Longhorn? That overgrown piece of beef jerky? I can be scarier than he is. Look at this." Jack twisted his ears sideways, snorted, and pawed the ground like Longhorn. "Mirror, mirror on the tree, who's the scariest? Say it's me." "Heed my words, for they are true. Horned toad's scarier than you." "Horned toad? That stubby little pancake? I could be more ferocious than she is. Look at this." Jack rolled in some mud and shaped his fur into spikes like Horned Toad. "Mirror, mirror, hanging there, say that I'm one scary hare." "Jack, you only make me smile. Give it up. It's not your style." Jackrabbit grabbed Mirror off the tree. "Mirror, mirror, piece of glass, here you go, in the grass." He tossed Mirror on the ground and walked off. Jack saw a lone star in the evening sky. "Star light, star bright, first star I see tonight. Listen up, hear my plea, make me anything but me. And while you're at it, star, I'd like some fangs and claws, maybe a stinger, a big sharp beak, and pointy horns, real ones." He curled up, closed his eyes, and tried to sleep. So here's our narrator. Jack wasn't happy just being himself. He had to be scary and feared. He wished and he hoped, and he tossed and he turned. At dawn, a strange creature appeared. Someone poked Jack in the ribs. "Having a bad hair day?" "Who are you?" "I'm your fairy god rabbit. You wished on a star, and that's where I come in. See this star on my wand? Star wishes are the only ones I can grant. I don't do wishbones, wishing wells, birthday candies, and all that other stuff. Now, let us see." So this lettuce is spelled like lettuce, like you would eat in a salad. That's another thing I like about this book, all the little play on words. "Now let us see. You wished for fangs, claws, a stinger, beak, and horns? Sorry, There's a one-wish limit. Jackrabbit shook his head. I want them all. I can't choose. I know what I'd wish for. Some normal clothes. Fairy Rabbit rolled her eyes. Look at me. I look like a tossed salad, dressed in this get-up for the birds. I wish. Is this your wish or my wish? Jack interrupted. Okay. I see you don't care at all about me. So choose. Jack paused. I want horns. Horns, Fairy Rabbit moaned. Why did it have to be horns? I've turned pumpkins into carriages, frogs into princes, and rags into gowns. But I've never done horns. I'll have to look this up. Luckily, I brought my new, unabridged, fully illustrated, first time in paperback, step-by-step copy of Wishes for Wabbits. Fairy Rabbit flipped through the pages. Chapter 8. Wishes beginning with H. Hair, longer, shorter, no. High heels, glass, ruby, no. Oh, here it is. Horns, trumpets, trombones. Now that'll look cute on your head. I think you mean these horns, like antlers. Ready, Jack? She waved her wand. Wait, it says there's one condition. Never tell a lie, or else. Just hurry up, snapped Jack. Seen some other stories coming in? Magic dust, do your stuff. Make this hair mean and tough. Pointy horns are his hope. Make them like antelope. Poof. When the magic dust settled, there stood Jackrabbit with horns like an antelope. You might just call him a jackalope. Here's our narrator. He pranced, he strutted, he puffed out his chest. His horns were a sight to behold. But at last he was scary. At last he was fierce. The jackalope had to be told. There we go. Mirror, mirror on the ground, who's the scariest one around? There was no reply. Who needs that silly old mirror anyway? I told him, I know I'm the scariest one of all. Jackalope left Mirror in the grass and headed down the path to find Hummingbird. Hey, Hummingbird, look at me! Jackalope froze in his scariest pose. Jack, where did you get those horns? They're mine and I've always had them, Jackalope boasted. Zip! What's happening to the horns? Jumpin' jackrabbits, those horns grew right before my very own eyes. Hummingbird zoomed away and almost flew smack dab into Squirrel. Hey, Squirrel, look at me. Jackalope froze in his scariest pose. Jack, where did you get those horns? They're mine and I've always had them, Jackalope boasted. Zip! What's happening to those horns? Leaping lizards, those are growing horns. I'm out of here. Squirrel hightailed it down the path. Jackalope teetered from the weight on his head. Being scary is hard work, he said to himself. But Jackalope was not alone. Here's our narrator. 2 eyes were watching and 2 ears were listening, and 1 mouth was watering too. Coyote was tired of acorns and berries. He wanted some jackrabbit stew. Well, look at you, said Coyote. Jackalope turned. Are those horns I see? Coyote stepped closer. How extraordinary! I really can't see them so far away. I need a better look. He stepped even closer. Well, I'll be. Can I touch them? He reached out and jumped at Jackalope. The chasing began, and the 2 of them ran up and down, in and out, all around. As Jackalope dived for his old hiding place, his huge horns got stuck in the ground. Think about where rabbits usually hide from coyotes. Help! Jackalope struggled. Well, isn't this handy? Coyote snickered. Dinner waiting to be cooked. A jackrabbit kebab. I'll just build a fire right under him. He's not going anywhere. Coyote wandered off to look for firewood. I'm stuck. Why did I wish for these horns? Jackalope cried. Fairy Rabbit, come back. Okay, You don't have to yell. I'm right here. My, look at those horns. Just how many lies have you told? Lies? I haven't told any lies, Jack Rabbit replied. Zip. Okay, maybe a few. Now, how do you get rid of these horns? Beats me, Fairy Rabbit shook her head. You get one wish. You wanted horns? You got horns. But surely you can undo a wish. Hurry, look it up, Jackalope pleaded. Coyote's coming back and he's gonna roast me like a hot dog, gobble me up whole and pick his teeth out with my horns. Now that's a problem, Fairy Rabbit opened her manual. Here it is, Chapter 27, Undoing Wishes. Number 1, you can't. Number 2, if you think you can, see number 1. Oh dear, tough luck. But maybe I can move the horns, transplant them. I'll give it a try. Magic dust, rescue hair, put these horns over. There is a nice piece of kindling for my fire. Coyote grabbed the wand from Fairy Rabbit. Magic dust sprinkled all over her. Poof! The horns disappeared from Jackalope's head. He hopped up and dashed out of sight. But where do you think those horns reappeared? On Fairy Rabbit? That's right. Here we go. Jack kept running. He bolted up a hill and jumped into a hollow tree. Coyote shrugged. Hair today, gone tomorrow. He turned and eyed Fairy Rabbit. Dinner ran off, but here's dessert. She glared. You butternut, come any closer or I'll squash you. Yeah, right, laughed Coyote. I'm going to toast you like a marshmallow. He grabbed her by the horns, stuck her in the ground, and went to find more wood. Someone help me, screamed Fairy Rabbit. Prince Charming, Knight in Shining Armor, ex-Jackalope. I know you're out there. I could use your help, please. Way down deep in that dark hollow tree, Jack heard her cries of distress. Should he go save Fairy Rabbit now? Or should he say, put, what a mess? Jack thought fast. I have to go back. He struggled out of the tree. His fur was covered with sticky sap. She helped me, and now she needs me. Hold on, Fairy Rabbit. I'm coming to the rescue. He dashed downhill, then tripped, rolled, bounced, and rolled some more. Everything in his path stuck. Leaves, twigs, weeds, dirt, cactus. Ouch. The farther Jack rolled, the bigger he got. What do you notice is happening? Meanwhile, Coyote lit a fire under Fairy Rabbit. Rustle, rustle, what's that? Coyote wondered. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Who's there? He looked around. Rustle, rustle. Hey, Coyote, look at me! Coyote turned, gasped, then burst out laughing. A giant bush rabbit! That's the funniest thing I've ever seen, he laughed so hard he hee-hawed like a donkey and snorted like a pig. His laugh became a howl, and he howled so hard he tumbled right downhill into the stream. Coyote was still howling as he floated away. Jack pulled Fairy Rabbit out of the ground and stamped at the fire. Oh, Jack, I knew you'd turn up. How brave. You really are my knight in shining stuff. Fairy Rabbit picked up a charred stick. My wand, it's burned to a crisp. No more magic dust, no more wishes. Am I stuck with these horns forever? You could decorate them with ornaments, Jack chuckled. Wait a minute. Somewhere in this mess there might be some magic dust left on me. Oh, on me too, cried Fairy Rabbit. They shook and twisted, turned and danced. Stuff flew everywhere. Leaves, twigs, weeds, dirt, cactus, vegetables, magic dust. Quick, make a wish, said Jack. Fairy Rabbit took a deep breath. Magic dust one last time. Oh, my dear, this won't rhyme. Just get these horns off me now. Poof! The horns vanished. That's it! My fairy god rabbit days are over! Now I'm just an ordinary hare, so it's back to my ordinary name, Jill. She turned and walked away. Wait! Cried Jack. Stay! We can be ordinary together, like two peas in a pod. Jill paused. Didn't you want to be scary and fierce? No way! It's hazardous for my health, said Jack. Ordinary's safer. I'm happy that way. And if you stayed here, I'd be happier, even with your corny vegetable talk. Oh, how can I believe you? Asked Jill. Remember Zip? Let's ask Mirror, said Jack. He always tells the truth. Mirror, mirror, friend so small, who's the happiest one of all? There was no reply. Hello, Mirror, are you there? I just don't reflect, I need your respect. Jackrabbit picked up the mirror, polished it. Mirror sparkled. Who's the happiest? Now it's 3. Jack and Jill and Mirror. That's me. Hold on. It's not over yet. There's more. 2 eyes were watching and 2 ears were listening and 1 mouth was watering too. Coyote had worked up a huge appetite, and not just for Jackrabbit stew. She gobbled up Jack and gobbled up Jill. His belly was starting to hurt. He gobbled up Squirrel and Hummingbird too. And Mirror was his dessert. The end. That end how you expected it? With the coyote eating everything? Picking his teeth with the antlers? Just kidding. You didn't believe that, did you? Don't worry. Here's what really happened. Jackalope's gone, but his legend lives on. As I tell of this tale here and there, and don't you all mope for that old Jackalope, for he's happy to just be a hare. Mirror and Jack and their new buddy Jill were a trio forever, they say. And if it's real quiet, I know you can hear that coyote still howling today. So when you're out gazing at night at the sky, and you happen to see the first star, why don't you be wishing for something you're not? It's better to be who you are. The end. Really. Well, that about wraps it up. Hey, speaking of being something you're not, listen to this. Did you know that a jackrabbit isn't a rabbit? It's a hare. The babies aren't bunnies, they're called leverets, and they're born fully furred, eyes wide open, ready to hop. Jackrabbits outrun their natural enemies, including coyotes, by using their strong hind legs. They need that plain fur for camouflage. Jackrabbits like to eat herbs and shrubs. The antelope of North America isn't an antelope. It's a pronghorn. It can run faster than most other animals in the world, but it never jumps over a fence. Get this, its horns are quite unique. They're not antlers, but they branch, shed, and grow back like antlers. Nearly half the pronghorn's diet is cactus. Yuck! And remember that horned toad? It's not just a toad, it's a lizard. It's very gentle, but it scares off predators by doing some scary-looking things while puffing up its body to make it look bigger and squirting blood from its eyes. Whoa! It eats live ants by lassoing them with its long, sticky tongue. The 2 silly sisters who told me this story don't eat shrubs, cactus, or ants. They like to graze at all-you-can-eat buffets. So if you were wondering why I talked about the antelope, I don't know if you could see the pictures from where you were, but always in the background, okay, you could see a pronghorn antelope, but notice what it doesn't have. It doesn't have his horns until she makes that wish, and then you can go back and see that he has his horns. So remember, they couldn't they couldn't get rid of the horns, they could just move it from one place to the other. So it looks like that's how the antelope got its horns. Alright, I hope you guys liked that story. There's a good lesson to be learned in this. There's just funny things all throughout, and it had a good mix of a bunch of different stories. So hopefully you guys like it. Have a good rest of your Monday. See you guys.